Oh, so hi guys, it's me, Deepak, and this is a new series that I'm starting called Carla Simulator. And here I'm going to use like a Pygame environment, a set of Pygame environment basics. The reason being, it gives me a lot of control over Carla Simulator, and like I can control things, sensors, visual sensors. So it's basically for my benefit. Like I will be able to better observe the Carla Simulator and actually, I have few plans. I have two ways to go, and I don't want to talk about it right now. But this is a basic setup that will be required in both scenarios. So that's what I'm going for right now. And yeah, this is basically like setting up a Pygame environment. So if you have ever run like the manual controller.py script for the color simulator, we are going to do the same thing here. So I'm just going to walk through it, and maybe you can learn a thing or two if you want to. I mean, if you're watching it, so maybe you're interested. So let's get back to the tutorial. I guess. So let's start with a PowerShell, and I have uh, the color simulator in drive D, lack of storage. Uh, so I'm in this example directory for reasons that I've explained at times, because I think that's not easy file. There are two ways to get to import Carla, either set up in a set up as an environment variable or supply the path. So I have an example because I can use the same path that they using in the examples, which makes things easier. Okay. So just open my text editor and let me create a new script. I will save it as uh, new script. Uh, I set it as setup Pygame. But that's like the worst name that I can come up with. But okay, setup Pygame.environment, and I need. So for starters, let me just import few things. Import glow. I like the Sublime text editor that was not using the things that were in other files. I mean, recommending what was, I don't know. I mean, it was never this irritating to start. Okay, so like I said, I needed that. Uh, I need to import Carla Simulator. I need to import Carla module, and there's this one simple, easy way to do this. If you like, I will go into this. I will go into examples and check out the scripts. This is the way. Or you ask how to import Carla. Just copy this and paste this and import Carla. And here you go. You have imported Carla successfully. Uh, Next thing to do is import the source thing that I need. Okay, so since I'm setting up Pygame environment, I need these variables a lot of time. So I'm just gonna set it here as a global variable. Could be the worst practice out there, but I'm not complaining. I mean, okay, whatever. I'm not even sure what I'm saying at this point. I'm just trying to fill in the, you know, void, the empty wave that you get when you're not doing anything in the editor. You don't know. It bothers me that I'm not saying anything in the tutorial, because this is the basic stuff. Like I'm just importing a library that I need. I'm importing globe OS is random for parts, and having a random importing random for random choice when I'm starting the vehicle. Should have just you imported when I needed it, but okay. No, I need to import Pygame. So if you don't have Pygame, it's actually very easy. Just have pip install Pygame. It's done. That's simple. Okay, then now I need to import keys. Okay, so this one is gonna take a lot of time. You might want to skip this part, or you know what? Better thing. Let's save time. Okay, this will take forever otherwise. I will just copy all these keys. So in case you are wondering where I'm copying this from, this is in the example. Whenever you install Carla Simulator, you have this example directory in Python API, and there's a script called manual controller.py. Actually, really good. You should check the script out, and I'm just gonna paste all these keys. I'm gonna write them obviously at the same time. I mean, I love watch time. If I write all these keys, I will get a lot of watch time, and the video will be more promoted. But there is no point in doing that. Uh, let's accept, and I will just print. I mean, who use a debugger? We use print states. Oh, you know what? Let's just erase the exception here. Come on. Do tell me in the comment section if anyone of you like use a debugger because I don't think anyone does. I mean, I just spam the print statements every few lines just to check. Then it stopped printing that statement, so I can just figure out where the error is. Package is not installed. This should be a case. Also, I need to import numpy. You can do the same thing with numpy as well. Just have import numpy as npy, have a try statement here, and then raise the exception, But I mean, this is not doing it. Okay, all these are all that I need. Okay, so for starters, let's just create a function called game loop. I have this a habit of calling the function first and then create a function because when I started, I always used to forget to call the functions, and that used to waste a lot of time. So now I have this habit of first calling the function where I need to, and then creating the function. Also, never happened to me that I have to I forget to create the function and I just called it. Maybe one day it will. Okay, so I need to initialize Pygame, and also there's one more thing that you can do. I'm not doing it right now. Is to also have labels on the window. For that, you can do pygame.font. Maybe I will do it in the later parts of the video. In the next video, uh, depends on where I'm going. But it's gonna be a fun series if I'm able to do it. Initially, I had this like an idea of having a neural network that can define the steer angle, but I'm not doing that. But okay, go. So let's set up a display here. So Pygame.display, Pygame.display dot set mode, yeah, and let's set the height and width as I defined earlier. 1280 cross 720p. 720p. It's not even HD anymore. In YouTube, earlier 1080p cross 720 was HD standard video, but it's not anymore. So set up the Pygame window, Pygame display, and also one more thing, never forget that update the display because once I was creating a game, setting a game, and I forgot to update the display, and I was stuck because I forgot to that there's such thing as updating the display, and it wasted like 2 hours or something like that. So I hope I don't forget to set up the display update function here in this video. But okay, item dot time. This is important when checking for steering wheel. When we will be using keys to navigate the vehicle, moving forward, left and right steering wheel. Time dot clock, and let's set the world. So world is equal to, okay, so I need to first create a class called world, but I just assume that we've created it, and world, and here I'll be passing client dot get world. I haven't set the client, right? Now, so let's set the client. So one person once asked me that is there a way to like run the Carla Simulator server mode in a desktop and use the client side from a laptop? Um, like I'm really curious to if there's a way. It sounds really interesting. It will save a lot of power on a laptop when you can run it on a powerful CPU, a powerful computer. Mm, who knows? Maybe there is a way to do that. Let's just set up a timeout. So if I'm not able to connect to the server, I will just display a server timeout. So set up timeout of 10 seconds, and that's all I need for now. Wait a minute, let's just set up a while to loop. Otherwise, I'm going to forget that so the thing exists, and I'm going to have a function in the world that is called render. That is going to render a display for me. So just assume that there is going to be such a display for now. Like I'm telling you, so just follow along. And oh yeah, that's it. Oh wait a minute, wait a minute. There should be one more thing. Well, this thing should be try, and we just have um, finally and Pygame not quit. Right, 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 right. Missing anything here? No. Okay. So let's set up our world class. I mean class world. Okay. 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 So let's set up a class world. For some reason, it's really it sounds really weird. Let's set up our const init function and serve, and I need client, right? So let's just call it and I'm passing world, so I'm just gonna call it Carla world, and self dot world is equal to, I need a small world here. Metaphorically speaking, self dot map and self dot world, come on, dot get map, and also I need to I will be creating a class later called camera manager where I'm going to spawn. We're going to set up different kind of cameras, that cameras, simulation camera, and the RGB, the basic one. So so I'm just going to create an object for a class here. I'm just going to initialize it to none, and also gamma prediction of 2.2. Uh, the manuscript does it in a really like cool way, set up art passes and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep things simple here. Also, I'm going to have a player that's going to be our vehicle here. Also, you can actually control the pedestrian as well. I mean, it's really amazing how much you can do with a simple simulator. I'm going to have a function called restart. This function also gives you a lot of control over a lot of stuff. So let's suppose you hit a wall or something, and now you're stuck. You have to set up a way to like reverse the car. So what I can do is you can press a key and call a restart function. What a restart function does it is destroy your initial vehicle and create a new one. So that's what we're gonna do. Self and okay, let's set up cam index, camera index that is. So initially it's gonna be like none. Self it's gonna be zero. Self dot uh, camera manager dot index. So there's going to be a variable in our camera manager class. Index is going to keep a count of what what I'm running. I'm going to have a list of sensors, and index will point at what sensor I'm currently using. At this point, I'm just using one sensor at a time. But in the next video, maybe I'll be using more than one sensor at a time. Maybe I'll be masking one image over another. Just saying maybe I can take a totally different approach in this case. So self sensor if self dot camera manager camera manager is not none, right? Is not none, else 0. Okay, simple. Let's set up a player. No, let's set up a blueprint. Blueprint, uh, blueprint of a car. So I love Cybertruck for some reason. I mean, since the day they smash it with a hammer, get blueprint, right? Where is this blueprint? Okay, there it is. Okay, blueprint library. Dot filter, and I'm gonna have a Cybertruck here. Neat. Okay. If self dot player is not none, so I have already spawned a vehicle in this case. Um, I'm gonna have spawn point equal self dot player dot get transform. This will give me the location and the rotation of my vehicle. I'm gonna just set spawn point dot location dot set equal plus equal 10. Spawn point dot location dot roll equal 0.0 and pitch equal to 0 as well. And after that, I'm going to destroy my vehicle. Pitch equal 0.0 and self dot destroy. I'm wondering, I've not created the function, but I'm calling it right now. So as I said, I first create the function, I first call the function and then create it. So I mean, it's not a good habit. You should remember to call your function, but this is a kind of my personal hack. Maybe one day it will bite me back. No, so far it's going good. Try a spawn actor, and we have our blueprint, and spawn point. Okay, interesting. After that, in case we are calling the script for the first time, while self dot player is not none, if not self dot map. This is just a way to check if I'm making an error. Make dot get spawn points. So if I'm not getting spawn points, I'll just print there are no spawn points in your map. Although this is a rare case, I don't think it will ever happen to you. In custom maps, this can happen. That is also an issue from the map that you created. So it's telling that you have messed up somewhere. Self.map dot let's get the spawn points and self oh, all the spawn points spawn point equal random. So like I said, random I should have imported random at this point. So random dot choice. So I'm gonna have like a list of spawn points where I can spawn a vehicle, but I only need one. So I'm just gonna have spawn points here. If spawn points else Carla dot transform. Simple. Self dot player equal. So let's us just now try and spawn an actor. Self dot world dot try spawn actor. Let's pass the blueprint as well as the spawn point. Okay. So far So good. Okay, time for our camera manager that I've discussed earlier. So, okay, and you know what? Let's just first complete our world. Okay, so I don't know why this sounds funny. Let's just create our world class, and then we will jump to the camera manager class. I mean, it's almost done. Few things left to do. So, um, what to do? Okay, when I'm self dot. So when I pass in the camera manager, I have to pass the vehicle that I've spawned, so I can attach it to my vehicle, the sensors, and self dot gamma for the correction, which you don't need. Self dot camera manager dot set sensor. So this will initialize and set up our first sensor, and we're gonna pass the cam index. Good. So here we let's have a sensor, and yep, that's it for our restart function. And also I need to call a function called render, which is gonna just do nothing but send the display. So it's gonna just call the render function from a camera manager class as well. So I don't know a lot of things. Oops, render and pass the display here. We created earlier, and right now let's just call the function def def destroy. Uh, Pass self here and have sensor equal self. I initially thought I'll be using a lot of sensor like LiDAR, radar, GNSS, but right now I'm not using any because I don't feel a need to do right now. But this is like a setup, so even if I want to, just have to add few more lines and it will be done. So it's not like I will be wasting another video for just setup if I need them. Or maybe I have to, when I'm just trying to exploit algorithm, I'm making more videos than I need to. Uh, okay, if sensor is not none, sensor dot stop, sensor dot destroy. Nice. So I'm just going to call command sensor dot destroy function. Yep. And if self dot player is, because remember I'm initializing all these variables to none and then I'm spawning them. So if I'm not spawning them, their initial value is none. That's I have this function self dot player dot destroy. Okay, easy. One more function that I need in the world class is, okay, this video is on destroy sensor self dot camera manager dot sensor dot destroy, and I'm going to do is self dot camera manager dot sensor none and self dot camera manager dot index also equal none. Okay, time to set up our camera manager class. Oh boy, it's gonna be the thing. Let's quickly do it. Class camera manager hope I'm doing this right. Yep, this is my passing self here, self, and I need our parent actor, and I need the comma connection that I'm yep. Okay, self dot sensor equal none. Nice. Self dot surface, which I'm going to display on my screen, on my display, is also equal none. It's like I am on caffeine right now. Self dot parent is equal to parent actor, and attachment equal Carla dot attachment type. So I'm gonna have a I'm gonna just have a I'm gonna have attachment region only, but attachment type Carla dot attachment type. So let's just create a self dot camera, okay, camera transforms equal. Initially I thought I will have resource sensors where for random position, but I decided to have only one. So color dot transform, color dot location. I could have done this. I just should have just imported transform location and rotation, but too late for now. I'm just following the script I heard earlier. So to not get any new errors on the video. I mean, I will be getting a lot of errors, but some kind of location and what am I missing? What am I missing? There's nothing. Okay. What? You just keep it inside of this. Otherwise, there's no main issue here. Attachment. Dot. Let's just call it widget. Just have to check one more thing. Camera manager. Yep. So I have a class here. So I've find the position I'm going to spawn vector. Now let's have a list of sensors that will be installing. Sensors equal is on the list here. First sensor is going to be come on, just be quicker. Sensor dot camera dot RGB, right? This is inside of this as well. Then I need cc dot raw camera RGB and 70 sensor dot let's say camera dot depth cc dot raw. This you can have grayscale as well. I haven't decided yet, but camera depth raw comma list dictionary actually sensor dot camera. So when I shuffle between indexes, I'm gonna choose between RGB depth or semantic segmentation camera. When I just saw the let's just try it. I just want to type it again. Semantic segmentation. The only thing I'm not aware of at this point is typos, because when I start running the Carla Simulator, it's going to be really hot. So camera semantic segmentation. cityscapes, palette, and yep, looks fine, neat. Okay, now let's just set. Okay, hold on, one more thing I need is let's create a world variable. I'm gonna just get the world from my parent. But this is getting really philosophical at this point. It's not even funny. Get world and blueprint library world dot get blueprint library for item and self dot sensei self dot sensor BP is equal to blueprint library. I have a BP library. It's not BP. It's person. Find item and if item 0 dot starts with camera sensor dot camera, then let's set up the attributes for the bird person. Okay, let me shut up. Blueprint dot set attributes and image size x, which is going to be our width, right DDH, and blueprint dot set attribute again, image size y, comma string, comma or height. Okay, and if both person has attribute gamma, then BP dot set attribute gamma, comma string gamma correction. Okay. One more thing that I need is yeah. So item dot append BP. So what I'm doing is at this point is after I have, so what it does is this actually created a blueprint for my sensors, and after I go through setup attributes, I'm just going to append the blueprint at the end of all this list. So I'm going to have a blueprint of this sensor at the end of this list, at the end of this list, at the end of this list. So -1 will just give me the blueprint of the sensor. I'm explaining this because I'm going to do it in a moment when I've set up sensors. So some of you may be confused there. So self dot index equal none. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, now set sensor and we're gonna have self here, index and notify is true and force respawn, which is false most of the time. Okay, let's create a function and be real quick with this. So I'm going to press all of index here. So whenever I press a key, I will increment my index, my current index by 1, and that index I'm going to pass here. I'm going to divide it. I'm going to get the remainder by dividing it by the list of sensors. So I can only have, so whatever I get, the result I get is the remainder I get will be uh, the value or 0. So because index start from 0 to n minus 1, and my length will be like, suppose I have 5 sensors, so 0 to 4 I will be dividing by 5, and the remainder I always get like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this basically settles if I implement index. I think you can understand. I'm wasting time explaining this. Modulus length and self dot sensors. Okay, and need respawn true if self self dot uh, index is none. So when I initially call a set sensor function in my world class, uh, then I need a respawn, or force spawn is true, which is by default false, or uh, else force spawn, or so this is so boolean I'm getting self dot sensors index not equal self dot sensors self dot index, which is basically both the sensors were same. So 2 will actually give me the camera RGB if they are basically same. So I don't need then else it's going to be false anyway. So need respawn false. If need respawn, if self dot let's just say is not none, self dot sensor destroy self dot surface equal none, and then I will be setting up my sensor. Self dot sensor is equal to self dot parent dot get world dot spawn actor. Just going to pass my blueprint from my self dot sensors index -1 self dot camera transforms self dot transform index 0. So this will give me the blueprint from this list, and transform dot 0, and this will give me the transform from this list, and so I don't think I have set up transform index. No, I haven't. Let's just set up the transform index. Self dot transform index equal 0. Okay, this solves it out. What I need now is weak self is equal weak ref dot ref. I'm just going to pass the object here, and self dot sensor dot listen lambda image, and this is going to be an existing function. I'm going to create an image. I will call this function. I'm just going to call it parse image, pass my weak self. If it's not none, then I'm going to run it, and I'm just going to pass the image as well. And one more thing, self.index is now index. You will see how this index function is rotated. Also, one more thing. By pressing the keys, I will be calling this next sensor function. So now you can see how this is working. So it's basically self.setSensor, and I'm just pressing self.index plus one. So whatever the next sensor is, I'm just going to create that one and destroy the current sensor. So it's pretty easy. Okay. Also in this function render. I created that in Word. I call this function. So I'm passing self display. If self dot surface is not none, display dot blit. I'm just gonna pass self dot. I'm just gonna blit. I'm just gonna pass self dot surface and where go. And I'm gonna start from 0 position. That's it. I could create the def parse method. So how I'm processing the image. It's really simple. Parse image, weak self, image, and self equal weak self if not self just return if self dot sensors self dot index 0 dot start with. Actually, I had an idea that I'll be using LiDAR in the future, so I'm just gonna have it here, and I'm just gonna pass for now. And else I'll be having the camera. I'm just gonna set up the camera image dot convert self dot sensors self dot index and 1. So if you remember, it will have cc dot procedures raw and cc dot csv palette, and after that I will be reshaping it to be able to display on my Pygame window. So let's have a mg here, mg equal to np dot from buffer image dot raw data comma d type np dot d type uint8 img np dot reshape img comma image dot height comma image dot width and comma 4. So it's actually RGBA, not RGB like you have. Also not RGB, it's BG, I think. Array so that's RGB, and we'll be reversing it. So array so reversing it. Now self dot surface is equal to pygame dot surf array dot make surface array dot swap axis 0, 1. So now I can display it on my Pygame. Neat. after all this, we're basically able to like set up sensors. But where are the key controls, you will be asking, right? So now let's create another class controller. I kept it a surprise. So let's have a controller variable, and now I'm going to have a keyboard control class, and I'm just going to pass the world here. Actually, I did create the world, but I don't know why I passed. Or I didn't. I even did. Here it is. Oh, I'm passing the world object. Sorry, I thought I was. Okay. So while true, what I'm going to do is if controller, I'm going to create an object parse events, which is going to return true or no, which is by pressing a key, I will return true, and I will break out of this infinite loop, and practically like end the session, something like that. Basically, I will exit the window. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to pass the world here, object again, and a clock. Okay. Okay, now let's just initialize our keyboard class here. This one will work. It's a class. Okay. Keyboard control. Now let's initialize it. Have a self here. Have the world here. Passing anything else? No, just world. And self dot autopilot. I mean, I'm not doing this for the autopilot, so I'm obviously going to set it to false. Okay, let's add one more thing. Self dot steer cache. So this is a memory of how I'm steering. So because I'm going to increment the steering by a very small value, so I have to keep remembering at what point last time I left the steer. So it's suppose I have 20 degrees, so next time 20, not like from 0 to 1. So steer cache is important. Initially it's 0. And no, that's it for the steer function. Let's get to the meat of what we need here. Parse events. We have self, we have client, we have world, and we have clock. We actually need client here. I don't think so with client. Maybe I thought of something. For event in Pygame dot event dot get if event dot type is equal to Pygame dot key up return. Oh no, not now. If I'm gonna create a function called self dot is quit shortcut event dot key. I'm just gonna return true. So in this case, I'm returning true, and I will break out of the while true loop. Just create a function later. Else if event dot key equal to key equal to key backspace world dot restart elif event dot key is equal to Okay. Backward. And this one world dot manager dot next sensor. Next sensor. So in this way I will be able to show you number. Okay, so also I'm just gonna call a function. There's actually a way to check if your player is called, but I should actually show you this thing. That is instance self dot control self dot Carla dot vehicle control self dot parse vehicle. I'm going to create this function, but I am gonna in a moment. I'm going to create two functions: is quit shortcut and this one. So this will be the last two function that I have to create. Dot key dot get rest clock dot get time void dot apply void dot player dot apply control self dot control. Okay, so I forget to initialize the servo control. So it's for the car. So we're just going to the init function and I'll give a control and just set it self dot control equal Carla dot vehicle control and that's it. Okay, so we have set up the pass-in function and after running through parse vehicle key function, which I'm gonna initialize in a moment, I will get the controls that I have to apply. So initially apply them here, but then I will just with keys. Okay, so let's just do it. You will get what I'm trying to say. So let's have a function def parse vehicle keys. Okay, it needs self, the key that I'm pressing, and this is basically the time that I'm passing using Pygame time dot clock function. Seconds. It doesn't matter. Yep. So let's check for so 4 keys: key up, key down, key left, and key right. So if keys, let's place it through. If keys is up, K up, or it is KW. So WASD or keys. Then self dot control dot throttle and minimum self dot control plus dot throttle plus 0.01 or 1. So this will like constrain the throttle between 0 to 1 because throttle has a what do you say? You can only have value between 0 to 1 in throttle, and in steering angle it's -1 to 1. It's a range. So let's have an else function here. Else self dot throttle self dot control dot throttle equal 0. and if I'm pressing another key, it's now let's try for key down. So key down is our way to slow down the path. So breaks. So if keys K down or keys KS small, then self dot control dot break equals minimum self dot control dot break plus 0.2 comma 1 weight is constraint is not greater than 1 else let's just set self dot control dot break equal 0.0. Right. Or now we will set steer increment. So it's going to be a really small value. It's almost 0.0005. So it's set steer increment equal 5 equals 4 into milliseconds. Okay. And I can do is check something. Okay. If key now let's for left and right. So if I'm steering to left, then then what I'll do is if it's if steer cache is greater than 0, then I will set it to 0 first. So 0, and then I'll slowly increment it. So initially when I press it 0, then it slowly decrease. So if okay, left or keys K A, then pass then if self dot control dot is self dot steer cache first. If I was running control level is greater than 0, then self dot steer cache equal 0. Else I will self dot steer cache minus equal steer increment. Seriously. Yeah. Else if keys K right or keys K D yes right. What I will do is if state self dot steer cache is less than 0. So in this case it's from the opposite. We'll just set it to self dot steer cache equals 0.0 and else I will just increment the self dot steer cache plus equal steer increment. And else self dot steer cache equals 0. Seems right. Oh, indentation. Okay. Next thing, self dot steer cache. So we'll be constraint. We're putting in constraint between minus 0.7 to 0.7. Actually, yeah, 0.7 and Okay. So we're gonna choose first the bigger between minus 0.7 and it's minus 0.7 and self dot steer cache, and then the one that is smaller between 0.7 and the one that I get the maximum of. So in this way, I'm putting it in a certain range. So control dot steer round and self dot steer cache. And now I've set the controls, and that's why I'm first calling this apply parse legal keys, and then I am then applying the control to my vehicle here. I mean, oh, almost forgot about this. Almost. So I initially set up a method that can quit the window, right? But I forget to like, uh, I mean, I choose to initialize it later. So let's do it. So first is setting method, and is quit shortcut and key, and if return k equal k escape or combination key equal k q and pygame dot p dot get mods and k mod control. So if I return this true, then I will break out of where it is. Here. So if this return true, then I will return true, and if my parse function ever returns true, then I so I forget to like break it. So I'll just don't do this. Return. Could have called break as well, but doesn't matter. Okay, anything left? No. Okay, so it's showtime. Let's call it Carla Simulator, and I will run the sample to run the script. What do I name it? Setup Pygame. Setup. Yep. Give it a minute to load. Totally, I think debugging will take about 5 minutes. It's like really slow. First, it's Carla Simulator, then the Pygame window with OBS running in the background. It's going to be slow. It's not running. Okay, finally. Okay, Indonesian. That is. Let's save it and let's call it again. So it's going to use double AND. So if this AND is a bitwise operator, not the AND that you have. Different. Here have I called 9 to 1. So Okay, Pygame.time has no attribute block. It's capital C actually. 296. Okay, okay. No, has no attribute apply control, and that is new. None type. Okay. So probably player is not initialized first. So let's check the issue. Line 156. World dot apply. World dot player dot apply control. I don't think there should be an issue here. So I'm passing the world object here, main function. The I'm first initializing world, and I'm calling a restart function somewhere. It's in the pass control. I know. Hmm. I think I know the issue here. I think it's pretty simple. You know what? Let's just do full dot restart, and I hope this will solve the issue out. Okay, so this one solved the issue out, but we've got another one. Line 217, and okay, what's the issue? What's the issue? List must be okay. None type has no attribute. What the what the hell? There is no parent here. 221, 221. Okay, keep it. What? I'm starting parent here. This should have parent actor. Where I'm calling the control. This is a camera manager class and camera manager. Where is camera manager class? Player. This should not be the case. World equals dot parent dot none attribute. I know world. That means parent parent is initialized to none, which is absurd. That means player is none, which can't be the case. It surely can't be the case because I'm initializing it. Okay. Okay. I think I have. I think I know the issue here. These both statements mean the same thing. Weak ref is not. Have I not imported the? Okay, that's what I said initially when I meant that I should just import when I needed them. Okay, one uh, missing line 304 world.render. Let me see if I have. Okay, so I need display here. Let's just do this. No pass display here. And okay, another issue. What was the initial issue? Self is not defined. Okay. I thought 5 minutes is the time that I will take, but it's more than that. Because object has no attributes, sensor. Because object has no attributes, sensors. It totally has. Hmm, which line? Which line? Which line? Line to 17. Yeah. Sensors. It is so. This here. This should not be. Shouldn't. Why is it? Why is it? Why is it? No. Now what's the issue? First of all, name case modifying line 270 sensor dot lidar. What's the issue? Object is not subscriptable. How come? Self dot index dot zero start. It's a function. I have I think like a list or something. Um. Okay. There's another error here. 202 as well, which is it needs key. Also, what's the new error? Array reference before assignment line 278. What? Okay, so this is definitely not a. Can I control it or something? I don't know. So let's see if I can change the camera or something. Okay, I can actually. So one success. I can actually change the camera. Maybe an error here. But what the hell is this? And this is surely not a spawn point. Okay, let me see. Maybe I have to just run the script again. No, that's not the issue. It should be something else. No, that's just anything. Okay, where is the vehicle? I mean, I should be able to actually see the vehicle here. But the vehicle is there, but the camera is here. What the hell? Like, like that's not how it's supposed to be. Mm, Probably an issue with the way I'm attaching the camera or something. Wait a minute, I have to check. Backward set sensors, heat response, response, get response, transform, attach. Okay, I think I have figured out the issue here. Attach to the dot parent, comma, attachment type equal self dot camera transform, and there I have mentioned it, self dot transform index 1. Let me see. How can I control it? Okay, this is working. I can actually escape. Pressing escape, I can actually exit it. Actually, it's working. It's just a little slow. So by pressing forward key, I can actually move forward. But because of the OBS that is running in the background, I'm seeing some serious frame drops here. Let me see if I can press A and it will turn. It's going to take a lot of time to register that press as well. No, it's not going to turn. I mean, it is going to turn, but with the frame drops, let's see tune crosstalk. So, I think I should just turn off the simulator first of all, and mm, stair cache is actually it is 0. We should decrement it by milliseconds. Unless the issue is what I think it is. Dude, not cool. Let's see. No, that's the issue. I can actually never actually with this. I can never. Uh, so what I can do is. Mm, this does not have many settings for now. Um, that will actually do this. Mm, it's not be that big. Otherwise, I will just set up a small value. And have I saved it even? Oh, you can see. Yeah, I can actually turn on. But the change is you have to fine tune the change yourself if you really want this to like really work. Okay. Okay. Now it's working, and here you can see pressing escape I can exit it. So yeah, this is it for the video. If you like it, like the video, subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.